Hello everyone, what we're going to do today is center and trim a bowl, right? So for centering, I use my finger, right? Try to place it obviously in the center according to these rings. Use your finger in the front, right? Make sure your hand is braced and you want it to evenly touch your finger, right? So I got pretty lucky here, but say it was off a little bit, you take that high point, right? And just push it a little towards the center, right? Do that again. Right, slow the wheel down at that high point, push it towards the center. Right, so you want your finger to graze along the surface, an even, consistent flow, right? So it's not bumping back and forth, there's no space between your finger and the bowl, right? Once you have it centered, you're gonna secure your piece with 3 wads of clay. Okay, pushing it down into the seam, right? Not to squish it too much, right? Just snug and firm against your piece that should hold it in place, right? So for trimming, this is my favorite tool, very universal. I do all my trimming with this tool, right? First, you're gonna just go over the surface, right? The base to make it nice and flat and even. And I always use the rounded area first, and then I'll go in with the straight edge. Right, same thing for the sides. Wherever you have a lot of unevenness, you could even use a sharper edge, right, to cut through that unevenness quick. Right, notice the speed of my wheel, right? It's spinning about a medium speed, right? So that speed, right, you need that speed to slice through the unevenness, to get rid of that unevenness easier, right? Otherwise, it might just bounce your tool up and down. I'm always using the sharp edge of the tool, right? Not holding it like this, right? Holding it right under my hand, like this, right? I'm gonna gradually follow my shape of the bowl, right? The contour shape, right? So you wanna think about when you're creating a foot, how you want your bowl to look, how your bowl will present itself on a surface. All right, so right now I'm just forming a nice rounded, even bowl, kind of dome shape, right? Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is take away a little bit here, right, using the rounded edge, and then I'll use the pointed edge to create a high foot. So now my foot is raised and my piece is elevated off the surface, right? Creating a foot like this gives the appearance or the feel of lightness in the piece. Right, cast a slight shadow under the piece, right? Make it a little more elegant, right? The interior now of my foot, there's a lot of different things you could do, right? But it needs to be hollowed out, right? For beginners, I say just trace a little line so that you know how far you want to go, right? I'm going to use the nose of this tool, start from the center, right? Gradually work my way out, right, towards that line. After I do it one time, right, I'm going to go a little more. Right? It's important that you know your piece, right? As you're working, you want to examine your piece, the thickness, before you flip it upside down and center it, so you know how much you need to trim away. Right, if you're ever curious, right, or worried about going through the bottom, you could gently push, right? If you see any flex, you should stop trimming, leave well enough alone. Right, but if you feel confident that there's a little more clay in there, that'll lighten up your piece, make it nice and even, right, you could trim away a little more. I'm gonna trim interior of my foot ring, and come out to the exterior, just make sure this is nice and crisp edge. Right. Smooth this out. Right, so when I'm done trimming, what I like to do is just run my finger over the surface, right? Run my finger over the edges, right? Making them nice and soft. Right? Make sure this is nice and level. Right, now I'll even run my finger over the trim center. Right, this burnishes the clay a little. Right, it hides some of the grog that may have been pulled out when you were trimming. Right? And that's basically it. There we go. I'll pop this off. Right? Hope you enjoyed. If you like, please comment, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you for watching.